Hey Ugo, what'd you do this weekend? Go to any good parties?
Well, if eating Thai food and watching a rom-com on Netflix counts as a rager, then absolutely.
Sounds like a pretty good time to me, honestly.
Don't get me wrong, Mike. I have been to some pretty epic ragers back in my day.
Oh yeah, me too, for sure. You know, beer pong, dance battles, jumping into the pool, and all the other cool stuff they do in the movies. I mean, in real life.
Have you ever been to a party, Mike?
I had a birthday party once. Today we're diving into some of the most insane, dangerous, and even sometimes illegal things people have been caught doing at parties. Let's dive into the first video.
Let's go.
What's going on here?
Inside the Seven Hills home, pure chaos.
They have parties in Ohio?
Back in Saturday night to celebrate the end of
That's
the year.
Ohio, man.
But here's the problem. This, quote, New Year's banger was thrown by an
New Year's
Airbnb
banger?
guest who never got permission from the homeowner.
He brought like 100 or 200 of his friends.
Sang-Young Lee, a Cleveland State student, is left picking up the pieces of his
Wow.
trashed
Look
Oh
how
my
messed up
God.
this house is.
Damage cost $10,000.
Oh,
10,000?
He
God.
says he tried to confront the man who threw the party, but couldn't find him in the crowd.
I was just playing video game in my room. I just heard that this crazy music.
What?
There's a bass. So like, I just came out from the room and I found out my whole house was dominated by
Look
that.
at this.
Wait, so he was home at the time.
Yeah.
He said he was in his room.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he heard that there was a rager going on in his home.
This is crazy.
This is
It's
wild.
crazy.
Airbnb released this statement to Fox 8 that reads in part, there have been over 260 million guest arrivals and Airbnb listings to date, including nearly 3 million on New Year's Eve. And incidents like this are incredibly rare.
I learned a lot from that night. I am not going to like host anymore on Airbnb, not anymore. And for the future Airbnb like hosts,
Wow.
I wouldn't.
Dang.
I wouldn't recommend 100%.
The damage done to that house is pretty terrible.
Oh, it's horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah.
This would turn anybody off from any type of vacation rentals
Oh yeah.
at all.
He was in the house when it was happening?
He said he was in his room.
So it must have been one of those Airbnbs where they lease out or like rent out a portion of the house.
Yes, it has to be. It has to be. Another thing that I also wouldn't do either.
Yeah, I mean,
Gotta be honest
also got to be careful around the holidays. You know,
Yes.
like New Year's and stuff like that. I
Because
mean,
people are
most
trying
people
to throw parties.
I mean, I would if I had an Airbnb, I would not list it during July 4th, New
Right.
Year's,
Yes.
Halloween.
Yes. You're
Not
absolutely right.
happening.
I would do Easter. Easter is safe.
You could do National Hamburger Day or something.
Yes, you are safe.
That's
on
a good
that day.
calendar date.
100%. Mark your calendars, ladies
My
and gentlemen.
Airbnb is only open on National Hamburger Day. Without a doubt, this has to go against the terms and conditions of Airbnb, especially if they caused property damage or didn't leave the home in the same condition they found it, which it looks like they definitely didn't do. Also, it looks like many of the people at this party were under 21. Now, Ugo, could the host of the Airbnb get in trouble at all?
Many people have to understand and realize that you are actually responsible for any type of event that you host in your house. So if you have a party where you are inviting underage people, and of course those underage people are drinking, then you, the homeowner, absolutely could get in trouble with law enforcement. But it has to be at your invitation. You have to be inviting these underage people in, knowing that there will be this consumption of alcohol. In this case, the Airbnb owner was just as shocked as I'm sure Airbnb was to come out of his room and discover that there was a rager with all of these underage kids involved. But that does not mean that his guest, who did invite all those people, could not get in trouble. That guest absolutely can get in trouble with law enforcement. Now, this homeowner says that there were over $10,000 in damages. Could that homeowner sue the Airbnb guests or even the party goers?
He should definitely sue the person who rented out the Airbnb. If possible, try to sue the party goers that caused whatever damage. The problem here is going to be determining who actually caused the damage.
Yes.
Although there does seem to be a lot of footage there, so maybe he'll get lucky and be able to find some type of video of someone damaging his property and be able to track them down, but it's not easy. Could Airbnb ever be responsible for all the damages that occurred at the host's place.
You know, it's interesting. Airbnb actually does have insurance policies in order to cover any damages that could potentially be done by their guests. But keep in mind, when it comes to intentional, willful damage, Airbnb themselves can still go after the guest. So the homeowner is likely going to be compensated by Airbnb's insurance.
That was an insane party. Let's see if this next video is even crazier.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Newly released video shows the moment a gender reveal party went terribly wrong. A border patrol agent and his wife shot a rifle at a target. Blew smoke into the boy. Then this happened.
Oh no. Oh my goodness.
That's a terrible fire.
Oh my God.
Reaching the Coronado National Forest in
Oh
Arizona,
no.
destroying more than
Oh my
45,000?
God.
and racking up more than
$8 million?
$8 million in damages.
Woo, that's an expensive baby.
The border patrol agent called the accident the worst day of my life.
Yeah.
Wow. Take a look at that, where they set that up. It seemed,
they look like dry brush everywhere.
I've never seen anything drier.
I think the problem is they figured this product, this gender reveal product, isn't like gonna cause flames because they think it's just a color smoke bomb. But they actually do emit little embers that could catch things on fire.
I mean, you're absolutely right, as we saw.
Yeah.
I feel like this was the worst place for any embers
Yeah, this
to
is not
be.
smart.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like, listen, I'm so hot that even if I walked in there, I could have started a forest fire.
That's not true. So what happened to just biting into a blue or pink cupcake? Or even just telling people your baby's gender?
Right. No, you're absolutely right. I feel like the internet happened. The internet, everyone's trying to up each other, like outdo the gender reveals and make it bigger and bigger and bigger. And now we had a 45,000 acre, really big fire.
$8 million worth of damage.
Oh my
That is terrible. This baby made a name for himself before he was even born.
Yeah, they should name him Smokey.
Oh gosh. They literally chose a forest that looks like it's almost entirely populated with dead trees and kindling and didn't for 1 second think maybe this was a very, very bad idea. Who are they inviting to this party, by the way? Is it like, here, meet us out in the middle of the desert for this party? They got like melted ice lemonade, like everything's melted, the ice cream's melted. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yes, it doesn't sound like it's right for a party. Gotta be honest.
Go to coordinates this and this for the gender. Yeah. What the heck is that?
You need your satellite phone just to be out there.
Is the couple responsible for the $8 million of damage that they caused?
100%. When you do something that is negligent and your negligent behavior results in damages to third parties, you are in fact liable.
Didn't see, at least in the video, any sort of safety equipment like, you know, a fire extinguisher. Right. Also, just the location, terrible choice. Anyone just looking at it can tell that it could probably cause a fire.
If there was some sort of faulty reason from the rifle or even the blue powder and that caused the fire, would the company be found responsible for selling the product in the first place?
They won't be found responsible for selling the product, but they could be potentially held liable for that. Whoever is the real reason for it probably pays the most.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting because when it comes to these type of damages, right? Lawyers, really good lawyers like yourself, they look for people that have what we call the deepest pockets, the ability to pay.
It's always important, and this is why it's important to get a lawyer to analyze a case to see where the deep pockets are, who else could be held liable, and to really dive deep into seeing, was it the product that caused it? Was it the individual that caused it? Was it both of them?
Yeah, listen, if you ever think that potentially that you have a case, it is important that you go to ithinkihaveacase.com where our team will analyze it.
Link in the description.
Let's go ahead and watch the next video.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
It was supposed to be a perfect first birthday party for sweet little Diana Romero in Port St. Lucie, Florida.
Cute.
But watch what happens. The bouncy house starts to deflate with a bunch of little ones inside.
Oh no,
Parents scramble to pull their children out from under the heavy plastic material. 2 of the kids had to be taken to the hospital.
Oh no.
Hospital.
Very, very hurt.
Deborah checked her security camera and saw this man walking through her yard.
What?
Then, as he turns to leave, he apparently pulls the plug on the bouncy house.
Is this like a nasty neighbor?
Why would he do such an obnoxious thing? Police tracked him
I bet you
down
it's a
after
neighbor.
This video of the party pooper was made by a neighbor and posted online.
We identified the person who actually pulled the plug. It's a resident that lives in the neighborhood.
Of course.
You called it.
Sergeant
Of course.
It's a neighbor.
Is not cooperating and has hired a lawyer.
This was actually smart move.
Smart.
I knew it was going to be a neighbor because unless you're just completely crazy and you just like going to parties and pulling plugs, there has to be a reason to make someone do that.
You seem like you're that kind of crazy.
No. As a police officer said here that his intention was probably to stop the noise from the party. That's probably what was bothering him. Potentially maybe he just wanted to stop the party. I doubt he had any idea that what he did by pulling that plug would lead to injuries of the kids. But that doesn't mean that he wouldn't still get in trouble for it happening.
Exactly, Michael, you're absolutely right. There are so many times where we do things by accident, but it still leads to harm. Simply because it was unintentional does not mean that you're suddenly now off the hook for what harm was caused by your unintentional conduct.
The simplest way to relate this to people is drinking and driving. You know, your intention is not to go drink and drive and cause an accident and hurt someone, but you drank and then you drove, and you're now responsible for what happens after because the act of drinking was not a smart move to do.
Exactly.
Right? Here, the act of pulling those cords, he was even trespassing by even going on there anyway.
Absolutely.
So all of that would lead to this person being responsible for what happens next, both criminally and civilly.
It's one thing to trespass because you're curious, what's all this noise? What's going on? You trespass because you want to see what's happening. But when you trespass for the specific purpose of committing a crime, that is unplugging this cord, then now it actually elevates your trespass, right? Because now there's criminal intent. And if you're wondering whether or not unplugging someone's plug in their house is criminal intent, it is. It 100% is. It's a weird law that some people don't know, but when it comes to going to someone else's property and unplugging from their house, it's actually against the law. You have no idea what is being plugged in. You don't know if it's a life-saving measure, or you don't know if some sort of vital thing to someone's security, or in this case, vital thing to someone's safety.
If you got an issue with the noise, go through the proper channels, but don't take it all into your own hands. When you do, bad things can happen.
But I will say, the smartest thing that this man did, which was not a lot, but the smartest thing that he did was hire a lawyer.
Yeah.
Because he needs one.
He's already caught on camera. So the best thing he can do at this point is to shut up, do not talk to the police, get a lawyer, and let the lawyer handle everything from here on out.
Yeah, it's important, especially when you're caught red-handed, that you do not give any incriminating statements.
Imagine if that man lived next door to the college Airbnb party. If this is how upset he gets at a toddler's princess birthday party, imagine what he would do to those people.
He would lose his actual mind, I'm telling you. Do not be a plug puller. All right, so let's take a look at the next video.
Let's do it.
One family did what a lot of families do on the 4th of July. They bought some fireworks and then they set them off in the front yard. But nobody really expected what happened.
Whoa!
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Wow. That looks so dangerous.
Oh my, it's like a war.
Look how there's little kids there. It's pretty scary.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
One of the other adults lit a firework that just kind of went rogue and lit the other fireworks that were behind the break board.
You should never have other fireworks near the firework you're lighting.
Ever. For this exact reason.
There's certain safety precautions you have to take. And honestly, you know, if you're really doing it the smart way, you should probably be wearing safety protection as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. But it's not a good idea to keep your bundle of fireworks right next to your lit firework, right next to a gas tank of an automobile.
It reminds me of like one of those old cartoons where it has like the crate, wooden crates of like a bunch of fireworks, and they light one and the whole like sky and building go.
It's like the
crazy.
TNT, and next thing you know, that's exactly right.
Not a good idea.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
There was actually no injuries. Everyone is
Thank God.
Well.
That's
no
very fortunate.
Thank God. Yeah. Shout out to that mom though, who her first reaction was going right into the line of fire and grabbing her baby.
That's That's a good mom. That's
maternal instinct.
It is really instinctual.
We didn't post it. We didn't give anyone permission to post it.
What?
It just ended up on Reddit the next day.
How?
It was, meant for insurance purposes.
They were hoping to stay out of the headlines, but as the video spreads, they wanted to shut down rumors.
Fortunately, no one was hurt.
Thank
in
goodness.
this. It's hard actually for me to tell, is it just a lot of smoke and noises, or was this actually something that could have been a danger, like life-threatening or cause serious injury? I can't tell because, all these fireworks are different,
Right. It is a miracle that everyone is okay, and thank goodness, because this video is wild, it's absolutely crazy. But what struck me most is that they did not share this video with the public.
Right.
What they said is they just captured this video for insurance purposes. But they said they never posted it.
Wow.
So my question is, how did this video get from insurance to internet?
It was leaked by someone. I think it was an inside job. Someone in the family that doesn't want to admit it. It's a little Timmy over there.
And we know that hindsight is 20/20, but as lawyers, our job is to always try and provide our audience with the best steps moving forward to avoid potential liability, because thank goodness there was no damage. But if this would have damaged another house, Mike, would these homeowners have been liable if one of these rogue fireworks, caught fire or did something and caused damage to another home?
Yes, absolutely. If it was a malfunction of the firework, then possibly the manufacturer of the firework. In court, they would determine, who is liable here and how much they need to pay.
Right.
But for sure, they're going to be sued, and potentially the manufacturer if there was something defective. The other issue here is that in some US states, purchasing fireworks is illegal. Nebraska, where this takes place, legally allows fireworks to be sold. But had this been in a state where it was illegal to purchase these fireworks, they'd be looking at potential criminal punishment, maybe even more severe civil liability, because you're not supposed to bring them in, so it's negligent just purchasing them or bringing them into the state and lighting them on fire.
Absolutely. So it's very, very important that wherever you are, you know your local laws regarding fireworks, because it varies jurisdiction by jurisdiction, state by state. And you don't ever want to find yourself in a situation where you are unintentionally breaking the law, because ignorance, not a defense.
It's not an excuse. Wow, parties seem like nothing but trouble. I'm glad my wild party days that I definitely had are way behind me.
Okay, Mike. Yeah, me too.
Unless, if you're doing anything next weekend, I'm free, just saying.
You want to come over and rent a bouncy house?
Honestly, yeah.
But no explosions or fireworks, please.
Only fireworks of joy.
I think I'm busy.
What?